Pray for a swift death.
Welcome back to the channel, everyone. We finally got the English translation for the patch notes after 6 hours of the Japanese version being available. I had a whole little thing that I wanted to do and you know, but the whole Twitter situation really kind of like killed the momentum for me. It killed like the motivation. So I'm just going to read through these patch notes and just sort of give my idea on what the developers are doing. I know a lot of people has been playing Tekken 7 already and been sort of figuring the game out. Starting at the top, it says common. Wall crush inducing hit, wall crush inducing guard. So basically this means that you guys probably seen the gameplay by now, but basically every character in the game got a wall crush. Some of them is on hit and some of them is on block. For example, Yoshimitsu has forward King Chop forward 2, and that's on block. It will knock you against the wall. And I also think the wall crush animation is kind of unique. I've seen a lot of people being I won't say upset, but kind of like confused as to why they put it on such weak attacks. But I think it's kind of cool because attacks that we don't really use that often are now sort of more viable. I'm interested to see how this evolves because this is just the first day of this being added. But I feel like this can really get some odd tactics to appear in like tournaments and stuff like that, right? Most of the characters on this list only got the wall crush changes, so all of those characters I will be skipping and only talking about like actual buffs and nerfs. Yoshimitsu forward 2+1 changed the opponent's behavior on counter hit, so now you get a big launch and you can do something after this. This is going to be incredible. Like I was already talking about this on a live stream and how this can be used, and I am really excited for this. But that's the only thing Yoshimitsu got. I said before that if Yoshimitsu didn't get more than that, then he probably wouldn't change too much on the tier list. Now Haron Xiaoyu Jin, Brian Heihachi, Kazuya, all of them just have the wall crush. You guys can pause and read to see exactly what changed. For Steve, delayed the time that enables him to do standing block by 2 frames. Oh, delayed it, so they made it slower. So I guess this is kind of a nerf for Steve. Jack 7 has a lot of stuff here. A lot of stuff. Added to command for Rage Drive. When Rage Drive is performed, this command, the attack startup will be 22 frames, 23 frames. I'm interested to see what that means. That's something that I would like to see gameplay of. It is now changed to trigger a screw upon counter hit. Okay, so that's now a counter hit launcher. So it looked like they just going through and they're really like kind of like buffing Jack. And I think I know Anakin's going to be proud. Anakin's going to see this and be like, yes, like finally. Recovery when blocking from 11 to -9. So that's another buff. Change opponent's behavior on aerial hit. Reduce the recovery on hit by 1 frame. Yeah, so that's going to be really good for him. This is crazy. So now natural combo. Change the damage from 23 to 26. Change the opponent's behavior on success punch parry. I'm interested to see what that does. Maybe you'll get like a better combo or something like that. Change the damage from 22 to 26, 22 to 23. So she's mostly getting like damage buffs, but at the same time there is some frames, like it says reduce the recovery on hit by 2 frames. I think this is going to change her a little bit, but this isn't going to like push her way up on a tier list. I know on Twitter there was some people who was really excited for Asuka's changes, so I'm interested to see, like with this whole update, I'm interested to see what happens in terms of tier list, in terms of tournament. For example, a character that the community discovered had a lot of changes is Devilgen. Change forward 1+2 from -12 to -15 on block. Change the startup of the attack from 30 to 31 to 28 to 29. So kind of making the stuff slower. Change from 22 to 23. Change opponent's behavior on counter hit. Yeah, so Devilgen, to my understanding, this is big changes for Devilgen. A lot of people were wondering where he will fall on his, and I'm also kind of excited or happy that they did this because I wasn't really expecting them to nerf characters like Devilgen, Geese Howard, and stuff like that. So the fact that they're actually doing something, they're trying to listen to the community. They're trying to listen to the community. And I see mixed reactions on Twitter. Some people are like devastated that Geese Howard is getting nerfed, even though he's been one of the top tier characters forever. And then also you have Arslan Ash, who tweets out saying, Zafina, Fang, Akuma are going to win many tournaments again. Nee says, is this patch for me? Thank you. Nee right now has been playing spectacular. So seeing all of these characters get brought down and Fang kind of maintaining his position for the most part, it's going to be interesting to see how this Tekken World Tour unfolds. It says change the opponent's behavior on block. That's the wall crush. Decrease the distance to the opponent on block. So I'm guessing you'll be able to punish this a little bit better. Change the opponent's behavior on aerial hit. Change the opponent's behavior on... So wow, so some characters have 2 wall crushes. I was wondering if some characters had 2, because I feel like Yoshimitsu's is cool, but I think giving him one outside of King Cha would have been cool too. But, I didn't want to start complaining day one. But that's interesting. Some did get 1, some did get 2. Dragunov and Lily, they got small changes. Leo, I feel like Leo's a character that's underrated. Change attacks from 23 to 21, so that's above. 15 to 14, that's above. Yeah, so Leo's just getting buffed even more. I already felt like this character was underrated, but this is just going to make that character just a slightly more powerful. How much will the tournament scene change because of changes like this for Leo? Lars, barely anything. Alyssa, Alyssa's a character. Well, Alyssa's kind of a mixed bag. Some people say this character is like, top 10, top 15, but then some people say this character is bad and needs to be buffed. So here they did 25 to 21, 22 to 25, 18 to 19, 17 to 19, reduced recovery by 1 frame. Yeah, so it looks like they are kind of nerfing this character just slightly. But at the same time, it says 22 to 25, so that's kind of a buff too. Claudio, he only has the wall crush animation. Katarina, -5 frames to -4 frames on block, +6 to +7. Wow, that's kind of interesting. 24 frames to 23 frames. So Katarina kind of has better frames too. What's kind of interesting about this? It seems like a lot of characters are like low tier characters are sort of being propped up a little bit. I really want to see how people start picking characters, because the whole I'm just going to pick a powerful character and win, I feel like that makes tournaments so stale in a way. And I hope people start using more of the roster instead of just going to like, oh, let me pick, a Geese Howard or a Fakamram or something like that. Lucky Chloe got some crazy buffs. Just looking at this, I can see +4 to +9, 555, 666, change the damage distribution. Oh, wow, shorten the distance to the opponent on counter hit. This is pretty insane right here, because Lucky Chloe has a really big player base in like low ranks. So I think a change like this is going to be crazy for people down there. Also, I just think overall, like Arslan Ash picked Lucky Chloe and he was doing wonderful things with this character. So Gigas has some pretty cool changes as well. Harada said this character has the best win rate in the game and was hesitant to buff him, but just the community is nonstop pushing for Gigas to get buffed, and here it is again. Slight frame changes. This is definitely going to make those mix-up situations a little bit more in his favor. Master Raven is an incredibly powerful character. Change damage from 20 to 17, 20 to 25 to 20. Change damage from 48 to 45. Yeah, they kind of nerfed this character's damage in a sense. I mean, it's nothing too big. Like, you still have pretty much all the frames intact. It's just damage basically, which I think is fair. Mostly all the characters in the game have pretty high damage, so I think that's fair. Bob, increase the recovery when missed by 3 frames. So that's kind of big in a sense. You kind of can't just throw that move out anymore. Akuma, nothing. Panda, pretty much nothing. Eddie, decrease the distance. Oh, I actually saw, I think it was John Ding. So they decrease the distance to the opponent when the rage drive is blocked. And I guess this allows from some sort of mix up. Right now, John Ding is like testing. He probably figured it out. But last I saw, he was testing it and was trying to figure out how to best use this now. When you block, what is the best way to advance afterwards? Because the thing about Eddie is he's high risk, high reward. Geese change damage on wall hit from 44 to 40. Time with enemy attack plus 14 frames to plus 14 frames, or plus 16 to plus 14 on successful attack reversal. Now, when the Geese mains seen this, they were like, it was someone, I can't remember. Oh, it was Khan. Khan tweeted out and was like, no, what did they do to my boy? And I mean, I don't really know too much about Geese Howard, like as for the frames and all that stuff. But if Khan says it's bad, I'm going to assume it's bad. Anna, this is a character we've seen in the trailer, minus 12 to minus 13 on block. They made that worse. Damage buff, 17 to 19. And that's pretty much it for that character. Lee gets some buffs, plus 1 to plus 3, that's nice. Natural hit combo, that's nice. 33 to 29, that's also nice. Reduce recovery frames by 6 frames, that's big. Change from 20 frames to 15 frames on block, extended to the reach. Change minus 30, wow. Yeah, that's kind of cool for Lei. Armor King and Marduk didn't really get much. Julia is a character that I feel they always are nerfing. In every update, I feel like they're always tweaking something with the character. I seen there was a lot of different counter hit properties and stuff like that the character has. You know, it's not surprising. You know, when a character is dominant for so long, it's like eventually they're going to come down. Or you would assume they would, right? Same thing with Leroy. I understand that Leroy got some pretty big nerfs again. Minus 9 to minus 10, plus 7 frames to plus 6, minus 9 frames to minus 10 on block. I'm just looking over this to try and see the input window of the low parry during Hermit frames by 3 frames. Wow. Delayed the timing of sidestep during Hermit's dance by 3. So they're kind of making Leroy Smith slower. It doesn't look like he's going to be able to just sort of do whatever he wants anymore. It's going to be a little bit of a delay to this character. Fahkumram changed once again. I feel like Fahkumram has to be the most nerfed character in the game. If it's not Fahkumram, it's Leroy, Geese, or Akuma. One of those 4. Well, all 4 of them, really. Yeah, I'm not even going to read Fahkumram's. Kuni Mitsu, minus 2 to minus 4, plus 7 to plus 5. Yeah, so Kuni Mitsu's kind of just being slowed down a little bit. And I'm honestly surprised it's not more, I would say, because Kuni Mitsu is a character that's been doing a whole lot online. Change damage from 45 to 40. Yeah, so this character is changing in a major way. It's cool to see Bandai Namco. Who's this? Lita. Wow. It's so cool to see Bandai Namco changing these characters like this, because I know you had Arson Ash on Twitter saying buff Kuni Mitsu. For a long time, people were saying that Lita is not a problem. This is a fair and balanced character, but I feel like the fact that they've been so dominant all throughout the year, that they've been released, it says a lot, you know. Win rates, they're incredibly high. Tournaments, they do incredibly well. Even though at EVO we didn't see that much of them, they're still performing super, super well. So, I don't know, I just wonder what this is going to do for the tournament scene and also for the characters we see online, because the characters that do well in tournaments typically start appearing online. So the fact that Lita has a full page, basically, I think that's going to change the way this character is used. And honestly, I think it should, because one of the biggest complaints about the DLC character is that they're so powerful that people can just play them like mindlessly. Like I always say, if you can beat one Lita, you can beat all of them, because they're all played the same. If you know how to beat the character, you can beat anyone. And I wonder, will this force people to start playing more, to think more, to diversify the way that they're fighting? Like, for example, the way all of the Lita mains play is exactly the same, But if you take a character like Armor King, all of those players kind of have their own style to them. Same thing with like Noctis, Anna, Miguel, Eliza. Like some of the weaker characters on the roster, they have more personality because people are trying to figure out how to play and use their flaws to make like the best of it, you know. So I don't know. Even though people are kind of not really happy with this patch, I'm happy for it. I definitely want to see what they do or how this like affects the game going forward. But yeah, that's it. That's my little breakdown of this patch notes. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'll see you next time, and bye bye.